All right, Billy D here, and this is your Weekly Buzz with one of my great friends in chiropractic. Even though you're not a chiropractor, but you're still pretty much a chiropractor in my mind. Chris Lippe from Standard Process. I'm going to really thank you guys for stepping up to the plate this year. You're our biggest sponsor for an event which I think has the potential to really change the landscape of healthcare across the planet. And I'm really stoked you guys are on board.
Hey, we're very much interested in being involved and love what you're doing, man.
Okay, good. Now, tonight, this kind of came up in discussion. I'm really lately been concerned with brain health. Obviously, I'm getting older. We're all getting older. And one of the things I've noticed lately is my memory is not what it used to be. And obviously, living through the 70s probably didn't help much. But we're exposed to huge amounts of toxicity. Now, I want to, number one, talk about what you feel is your best product for limiting, say, metal exposure or anything that could cause any cognitive disorders as we get older.
Well, there's a couple products. First and foremost that would come to mind is just recognizing that an alkaline ash mineral would be terrific as far as being able to kind of flush toxins, especially from brain tissue.
Okay.
So a couple of products that come to mind are Mintran, one of our products. That would be a great product to take on kind of a regular basis. Helps keep the mineral levels at a certain point in the body. Lets the body function as it should, and utilize those minerals. The other is a product from a company called MediHerb, which is our herbal line here in the United States that we use. And
you brought me some kava from it too.
I brought you some kava from MediHerb, right? Exactly for after this, but
no, yeah, for the after this.
Chelico is a product that also comes to mind there as far as
it's a chelator or something.
It is. So it chelates. The important thing here is that it's one thing to kind of break these toxins loose, but you've got to be able to get them out of the body as well. You don't want them just floating around. So that's kind of where you get into some of the, making sure that you bind it up and kind of get it out. So your fibers are really important with that. But in heavy metals, that alkaline ash product, Mintran, is going to be a great promoter of that support in the body. Okay,
and a question I would have then, is there any objective measurement? I mean, I bought these new lab kits, they're not in here, lab kits where it supposedly is going to test the metals. Have you done anything like objectively where you measure it pre and post?
I personally have not. I'm sure that some of our doctors have.
Okay.
And a lot of our studies that we kind of utilize come from like a study out of Australia with MediHerb that they've done. So there are some studies that we can pull up and get that show that Chelico is kind of working. Chelico has 3 herbs in it.
Okay.
First thing is garlic. That's kind of the thing that's pulling things out.
And then really? Just garlic?
Garlic, yeah.
So why wouldn't you just do raw garlic?
You could, and on a daily basis, or at least on a regular basis, a few times
weekends.
a week. Exactly, just not too much.
Now, I juice it on the weekends.
You really?
Yeah.
That's brave.
Well, just like one clove, not the
must make you sweat out of your head there.
A little bit. It doesn't help the hair growth, though. But do you have anything for hair growth? Just kidding.
I don't know. I'm sure we can figure it out.
Yeah, I'm going to stay on more a serious note tonight.
So garlic is in Chelico, and then milk thistle supports the liver.
Okay.
So that's, again, helping promote detoxification pathways, sure. Right? And the third herb is kind of hawthorn. Also another support within some cardiovascular things, but also kind of getting into the veins and kind of moving blood and getting good blood flow, which is really important.
And then the next question, once we've cleaned it out, would there be specific nutrition that SP recommends that would help augment just better brain function?
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing is recognizing that the products that we're using again are going to be food based. So what we're doing is we're supporting the body to let the body kind of do its own thing,
of course,
as opposed to the product doing something.
Sure.
But as far as like a healing process,
augmenting.
There you go. Exactly.
Innate.
There we go. That healing process, when you've had an issue or we're seeing things like dementia and so forth, there's probably 4 key products to kind of look at. The brain is made up by 65-70% fat.
Right.
And
a high percentage is cholesterol too, right?
Very, very big high percentage is cholesterol. But when you look at that 70% or so, about half of it is EPA and DHA.
Okay.
So you want to have a product that's going to feed that. So your calamari oils that I know you take on a daily basis, tuna omega, another terrific product. We've got a few others in that.
Now, what would be the variance between using the tuna omega and the calamari? What is there any pros and cons of either one?
Yeah, different fish.
I know it's different fish. But as far as the constituents in it, is there going to be?
There's a little bit different levels.
Okay.
About a 2-to-1 ratio in the calamari oil and a 5-to-1 ratio in tuna. Comes naturally occurring.
So the calamari would be better then, from what it sounds.
It's going to have a higher amount. So yeah, comes in a liquid, which can be a drawback for some people. They may not like the taste. So the tuna omega is in a pearl, and a little bit maybe easier to take.
Okay.
The tuna also comes in a chewable form for kids. It's a nice product.
Right. And that's 5-to-1, omega-6 to omega-3.
DHA to EPA ratio.
All right.
So then you've got, let's see, tuna omega, got to feed the brain because the fat's important.
Okay, got it.
A product of ours called Neuroplex. Great, just general support. When you hear the word plex, kind of a good general product. So you've got to have that in the mix as well. Two others that would come to mind would be RNA, ribonucleic acid.
Okay.
Developed in 1952 by Royal Lee. It's been around for years. Helps to synthesize proteins and the damaged cells within the brain. So a great product, and that's got to be a key one that you put in your protocol. The last would be kind of like nerve connectivity. So Cataplex G would be the next product that I'd look at there. So Cataplex G kind of helping with the nerve endings, some regenerative work there.
Okay, good. Now this year you've got a couple of people that we're bringing up to the stage.
Yeah.
You want to discuss that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. So, I mean, obviously last year, if I can mention this, but Michael Dobbins was on the stage for us and hit a home run. I mean,
oh, dude, he was great.
That was awesome.
No, I was totally blown away.
I watched the video again last week and just amazed at
that was a heavy hit for everybody, that had an
Yeah.
involvement with him. So,
but he passed away here a couple months ago, and so he can't make a return trip, obviously. In his place, we're splitting the time frame. We're going to lead off with Christine Mason, who's our farm manager, and she's going to come out and talk about kind of what she does on a daily basis, working with GMOs, how she kind of goes toe to toe with Monsanto, and some of the things that she hears. Wisconsin's one of the larger organic states, and
is it really?
Yeah, and we're based in Wisconsin. California's number one. I think
California's number one.
California's number one, and I think
Wow.
Wisconsin might be two as far as organic farming. So, great amount there. She's very involved in all the different associations and things like that on an organic standpoint. We are MOSA certified. Don't remember what MOSA stands for. Midwest.
I don't either. So
something.
You can figure that one.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
You told her she had to kind of like beef up her PowerPoint a little bit, or what was the?
Well, there were I think she had 60 slides. So I'm
not laughing at you.
We modified that a little bit.
That's like me though. I do the same thing. I make 60 slides and I get through 3 of them.
Yeah, I know.
Then I go at the end.
But there were a few key ones that I really liked in there, so we're gonna make sure those get up there.
And she was great when I went up and visited the farm up there. I mean, I had tons of questions. I think I asked the most questions because that's just the way I am. I like to learn stuff. And as a kid, I was into growing plants and mostly corn. And I've always been into nature and growing stuff and the weather and all that stuff, and I think that's why I gravitated towards chiropractic. So I had a lot of questions for her.
Yeah, she's really accommodating, spends a lot of time, working with us out there in the field, talking to doctors to make sure that we're well educated in the soil content, all that kind of stuff. So it should be a good talk. I'm excited for that. And hopefully we'll get a good reception for her. Following up that, we've got Dr. Matt Hubbard up on the stage the second half of for our speaking slot there. And Dr. Matt's someone that I met probably about 3 years ago and was doing some nutrition.
And I think I met you through him somehow.
I think so.
Yeah,
some connection there. I'm not sure how it all kind of come together, but he was doing a little bit of nutrition but not standard process. And so over these last 3 years, like yourself, you guys have been out to visit the farm. You've done things to implement. He's had some really good success, and he's now one of the top standard process accounts in Southern California.
Great.
And so he's going to talk a little bit about his trip to the farm, and also just kind of why chiropractic needs nutrition, and talking about that kind of fit.
Right. I don't understand why that needs to be taught, because to me it's like a
But our theme when we kind of came to all of this was, the one thing that we tossed up that kind of came into play that we talk about a lot within chiropractic, and that is, quit giving things lip service and stand up and take some action.
Right.
So our theme throughout this for Christine and Dr. Matt is to take action.
Right.
And to get up and do something. And so there's going to be a few things within the presentation that I think will come up that'll show us to take some action. So.
And what kind of action you saying? Just actually start promoting, or that's what my talk's about.
Yeah, educating, getting your patients to understand and know, about nutrition and how it fits with chiropractic.
Right.
Maybe getting a good understanding of a viscerosomatic subluxation. Doing a little bit of study. Just go back to some of the philosophical things. Look at people like Desjardins and some others that have really kind of put things together for us, but we tend to kind of look the other way because it may not be convenient.
Right.
In a practice. So we try to find the easiest thing to do, whether it be a multi-level marketing or something that kind of masks it, but really get into nutrition, which is food, and that's kind of what we what we want to do.
Okay, before we wrap this up, let me just ask a real simple. I'm going to throw you a softball.
Yeah.
What nutrients do you think everybody should take on a daily basis? And I have my own opinion. I want to see if they agree with what you got.
Wow, that's huge. I mean, we've got 300 products on our line.
Okay, but I'm not saying everybody.
299 of them. That's what you should be taking.
Come on, dude.
First and foremost, our basic multivitamin is Catalin.
Perfect.
All right.
I agree with that.
Got that.
Okay.
With the Catalin, you've got to have a mineral. We talked about Mintran.
Yeah.
There's one called Trace Minerals B12.
Okay.
That would be the next on the list. We've also talked about Tuna Omega.
Okay.
Number 3.
And I prefer the calamari.
Got to be there. You do?
Yeah. Because I like the oil to support my smoothies.
Yeah. Okay. And there's other oils that we have that would work too. Fourth, something that you use in your practice a lot, Prosymbiotic.
Right.
Kids love it. You don't need to take a lot of it.
You didn't say that last time I asked you, though. I think you're picking up on my vibe now.
Oh, I am, of course.
Yeah, okay.
Well, also, I was just walking in and saw a bottle out there.
Those are the things that, I've been through Chestnut's program, and he recommends vitamin D as well. So.
Right. So vitamin D is going to get picked up in our Catalin product, so it gets kind of covered in that base.
Right. So you don't think you need extra supplementation on that?
If you've got some issue going on after a nutritional exam, then definitely a D could be there. But I'm talking about things that just everyone should take without talking to a nutritionist or talking to a doctor. That you should really just kind of be on is go see your chiropractor. Say, look, I need some basic support from Standard Process. Right. And so those would be the ones. I'm trying to think of what else we'd kind of.
The first thing I do with almost every person that comes in here, I get them drinking more water and I get them on fish oil. That's like first, and then we try to bring them to the fact that
the fish oil is great for inflammation as well.
Right.
And
when who's not inflamed?
Everybody.
Right.
Is.
So that's the majority of most people's problems.
Adjustments, and holding adjustments, and all that.
All right. Let's go get some dinner, brother. Thanks for coming up all the way from San Diego.
That's it.
This is Billy D signing off. Chris Lippe from Standard Process. We'll see you in
2 weeks, right?
2 weeks. It's like 8 days.
8 days.
Scary stuff. And I'm actually been sleeping, and I got some kava now that he brought up, so I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. Don't take too much of that early. You dream too much, right?
That's it. Well, I do. I don't know.
I know. I do
one
too.
And I'm good.
Yeah. All right. Can you do the rock and roll thing?
Absolutely, man. That's it.
All right.
We're out.